Welcome. I am Katina Johnson with Katina's Korner. Yes, you've officially hit my corner. I am so glad that you guys chose to come and sit with me today. Without further ado, I would first like to introduce my guest, Tatanisha Reed. I'm sorry, Attorney Tatanisha Reed. I have her with me on my show today. So, guys, we're going to talk about some things that I think pretty interesting. She and I were just sitting here shooting the ish, and we thought we want to change the subject a little bit. I was going to, and I may still be able to squeeze in a few things in regards to some law stuff, some tips and tricks, and some things that she would have been able to share with you guys. But if you guys noticed today, I do not have my Lolo or my Falana with me, which is my hair. And we talk about hair a lot, and she and I were just talking about some of the things and how it's so taboo. Yes, y'all, this is my naturalness today. Now, next week, I don't know how you're going to see me, because I am a woman who loves a lot of different styles. I can be short one day, long the next. I mean, I get my Beyonce on like anybody else. I'm just saying. As well as, like I said, my short, my color. I don't know about you, but I'm all about comfortability at this time in my life. I love to be cute, and let's just be honest, between weaves, wigs, and all those things that are out there, you can go from being busted and disgusted to being real cute in a matter of seconds these days. So, without further ado, like I stated, I have Tatanisha, and we're going to talk about that. So, hey Tata, how are you, girl?
I am awesome, and thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming on my show. Yes, so we were just talking about some of the things that we as women go through with our hair, not to mention with trying to be comfortable and just still trying to even be attractive, day to day. People don't realize what the struggle is. And, yeah, so tell me, what do you think about, some of the things that, well, day to day, I guess, because you come across it as well.
Well, day to day in a hair struggle, like I curl my hair every day. I was in the elevator the other day, and a lady said, and she was not an African-American woman, and she said, I see you all the time. How do you get your hair to curl like this? And I'm like, flat irons? Because other cultures, other women, they have certain perms where they can curl their hair. They can get in the shower, they can get out, and it's curly. No, if you see a curl in my hair, it means I woke up 30 minutes early, which I do every morning. I curl my hair every single morning. Before you invited me on the show, I was running late, so I couldn't curl them with flat irons. I had the stove curlers. I am old school.
Oh, girl, I won't even do it.
I turned the fire on. I put those stove curlers on because I can go quicker. So I was my bang too tightly. Put the flat irons on this. Because that's what we have to do. Yeah. Because we want to be pretty. We want to be beautiful. Everyone wants to act as if they're not superficial, or act as if they're not vain. And it's not being vain or superficial to want to feel good about yourself, because that's something that we're supposed to do. It's an innate quality that makes us feel good as women.
Well, and then the whole thing of your insides, to me, well, how was the saying about basically you feel as pretty as you look? You know what I'm saying? Inside out. That's all it comes down to.
It's a mirror.
And there's a reason why the beauty industry is making billions of dollars. Whether it be hair, whether it be makeup. People, they out here getting this money. So between the hair, you got people who have issues with growing their hair, or maybe some people are just like myself and Tata. We just don't want to wear hair. She's an attorney. I'm sure she on the day, every day, you busy, got clients. As soon as you wake up, the last thing you want to think about is, what am I going to do with my hair today?
Absolutely. I will wear weave to a fault. Like this area in my hair right here, it's just burned out. Like the whole rest of my hair is long, but because I'm trying to blend all the time, I have the pressing comb here. I have the flat irons. I'm rubbing the curlers. I got jam. I got wax. I got hair. If you name it, I have it. There's $1 billion on my dresser. Any hair product that will get these edges to lay
together, girl.
And they gotta stay when I'm sweating. They gotta stay when I'm at my man's house. They gotta lay at all costs. I'm gonna buy it.
Wait, and let's talk about man, because I have a husband, as you guys know,
I'm
20
God
years.
For a husband, and my man been tripping, y'all. So any wonderful single bachelors that love the Lord, this
stop it.
Not on trip mode. I'm Attorney Tatanisha Reed.
I can't believe
He acts out. He is on act out this week, y'all.
You know what? That's a whole nother show, y'all. We might be here another 30 minutes talking about that. I'm just saying. But other than that,
in his defense, he does not care about my hair. I think I pressed my edges like 2 or 3 times one day. He looked at me, he said, you know I don't care about your hair, right? So he
That's
is
beautiful.
not, but my hair is my own self-consciousness.
Yeah, and it is. It's a lot of us though.
Yes.
It's not just you. I mean, we all, and that's why they're doing so well with selling us the dream, you know, of
Yes.
this is what you're supposed to look like. Because let's be honest, we all love us some Beyonce. I love me some Beyonce. I mean, I'm not saying like I run out and buy her album as soon as it drops. Not that type of fan. The type of fan of, you know, she believes in appearance is everything. Appearance is perception.
Appearance sells.
It sells. It sells. I mean, think about it. She doesn't even have to say anything on her pictures on Instagram. She just drops a photo, boom, and she gets
But
a million
sex sells.
likes.
Look at it. It's
And
not
does.
just appearance.
But the hair is a part of the sex. If you
Yes.
think about
No,
it,
I
men, when they see that hair, they think, oh, long, luxurious. Let's just, I mean, seriously, if your hair is short versus it being long, how many times have you walked down the street and you changed your hair? I don't care if you threw on a little wig or something. And think about how many people pulled over or how many guys may have tried to talk to you or anything. I mean,
I'm so glad you said that. Most men are hair whores. And the thing is, they won't acknowledge it. They say, why do women wear weave? My natural hair isn't as long as my weave, but it's decent. When I wear my natural hair, I'm cute. But they not like,
No, they're not.
when I clean up and I got a fresh weave, it's like,
Who is that?
Who is she? Let me just have some old little, small little straight hair and a twist braid. They gonna think I'm okay. Because so you have pretty, you got sexy, and you got cute. It's a different allure that we have as women.
Yeah.
And when we get that hair right, that sexy thing can come out. And I think that's where men are
does come
always
out.
honest with themselves. And
Yeah.
I think that men give women a hard time when it comes to hair. And I think that it's so unfair as an African American woman. I've heard all the time, well, she doesn't want to have sex in the shower, or she don't want to put her hair under water.
no.
Or
It's not happening.
I have sex in the shower, but I'm gonna be on the other side.
Well, you better believe.
You're gonna be catching all that water.
Or I'm getting my hair done the next day or the next couple of days, and it's already jacked up. Yeah.
And I better have some weave. Because you're not getting none in the shower with my regular hair.
Yeah, and that's why I'm all about a wig. I love a good wig. I do, guys.
Because he don't even want to do it with a shower cap on.
No.
So,
Yeah, no, that's not sexy.
I got some natural hair, girl. It's gonna be like
They want sexy, and they like,
gonna
wait
be
a minute,
all-
you about to have that on?
it's gonna be an ancient Jemima sexy.
That extra mama sexy. Hey, this real talk though. It's the truth.
And it's not fair though, because we are made. You remember when Chris Rock did that black hair, whatever he did on Oprah?
Yep.
We're talked about as if it's not our reality. We don't have the luxury of taking a shower with our natural hair and getting out and going to work the next day.
No. Do you know that's a weekend process for me?
It is a process.
If I have to wash my hair, I literally would need to do it on Friday. So by Sunday, I'll be good to go for work on Monday. There's no way I can even think about doing it through the week because there's too many other things and it's not enough time for the time that it takes me to blow dry my hair, get it together, get it back straight. And that's what we're always worried about, how to get it back straight. Well, straight is, for me, it's not that I need it to be so beautiful. It's I need it to be manageable. That's the whole thing.
And I need it to be me. Beautiful is relative.
Yeah.
Some people
It
are
is.
okay wearing a natural hair that they wet and they let kink. And they're gorgeous. I'm not a nappy
They
hair girl.
own it though. They own
Yes.
it, and it's beautiful.
It is, but allow everybody to be comfortable in their own skin.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at her because she wants an afro, and some women are gorgeous with it.
They are.
Other women shave their hair. No, I can't do that.
Beautiful.
When I was a little girl, and this is probably why I'm so self-conscious about hair, I have very coarse hair. And I used to wear ponytails, and I used to have these little naps on the back of my neck.
We all did, girl.
Girl, they used to
Remember
tell
those?
me my naps look like small soldier fighting. And they do like this. Small soldiers
Like soldiers coming for a fight.
So I'm very edge self-conscious now. Like I said, I'll burn them out before they're
Think about all
nasty.
the edge control that's out there. I mean, obviously, there's such a market for it. They're not playing out here.
But my insecurities, because of the teasing, because of the coarse hair, you talking stuff, girl, but I don't know if you ever had small soldiers.
I have. You don't
I don't
understand.
believe it.
Let me tell y'all
Small
something.
soldiers
No.
like y'all.
This is a result of what you call a hard press and a flat iron. I mean, when I tell you, when I get my hair done, people always say, you have such nice hair. And I'm
right
like,
here, mine ain't
you
never
know-
been like this. hard pressed,
No
Jesus,
perms,
baby,
and I've been-
Jesus.
but,
Mine still ain't gonna look like that.
And I've been without a perm for over 5 years. The thing is, it takes a while for me to get here though. And that's the thing. It's like I'm so busy in my life that I don't want to sit up in a hair salon all the time getting my hair done. So if I try to do my hair is this big by the time I get done. It's so fat and swollen, and Lord knows, please don't let it rain outside, or oh my God, I don't even want to go outside. I'm running for the car. It's over. So the summertime is coming, which a lot of us we love the summer, but we dread the humidity, you know, and when it's just so hot and you're sweating. And who wants to be down in Shane Park? You sweating, your hair gets all big. You trying to be cute in your little sundress and seeing a little concert, you know, and trying to be sexy at the same time.
No natural hair for me in the summer. I will definitely do my natural hair sometimes in the winter. In the summer, I'm a boater, as you know.
Miss Lang over here. Attorney Tatanisha, did you catch that?
I'm going to catch that miss, and my hair is going to choop. I don't want it.
The life of a
no,
boater.
Thank you. No,
okay.
Thank you. I can't even do my own hair. I'm gonna see the hairstylist. I'm gonna see her every week.
See, and I
she
can't.
Gonna take my money. She can have it. She can have it.
During the summertime?
Every week period.
Are you serious?
Did I tell you I had nappy hair, this girl? We just talk about.
See,
she don't even understand my struggle.
I think we all have a different struggle.
Yes,
we do.
Yes,
I agree.
Yes,
I agree. I will say that, but I do understand that we are all taking this this journey with this hair. And kind of figuring out whether it be when you are a teenager all the way up into, you know, the age that we're at right now. You know, and I remember when we were younger, we had the cute salt and pepper shaker. Salt and pepper shaker. Salt and pepper hairdo.
Asymmetric.
Yeah, asymmetric, like all that stuff. So we went through those different times of, well, how can I get my hair to look like this? And then now we're in an era where weave and wigs are the norm now. And that was just like taboo. You did not talk about it not being your real hair if it wasn't. And now it's huge. It's a huge market. So,
but what I love about the era, Tina, is the diversity. I love the women shaving their heads. I love the women.
They show a different way.
And
it don't have to be what it's always been. And people say, "Oh, you want to look white," and that's not even it, though. It's not. It's like you said, people want to look beautiful.
Well,
and
now that's where I beg to differ. I do think it's European. I think it's European because we've always historically been taught that white is right, and we don't naturally, most of us have long, my sister calls it nip tips. My sister has very long hair, and she'll say, I'll never cut my hair ever to come past my nip tips, the tip of her.
So what a way to call it.
But we all don't have nip tip hair. But white women have always generally had that. I do think it's European. However, I think that because we have been taught to assimilate, and we have not only been taught to assimilate, we have assimilated. We've assimilated on our jobs and our colleges and our lives and our marriages because we don't have a choice. It's societal. We're going to look a certain way at work or we won't have a job. We're going to speak a certain way at work or we won't have a job. I'm going to dress a certain way and articulate a certain way because nobody will retain me if I do not. Once I've proven myself, once I've won cases, if I want to take off this weave and just be nappy, okay, she gonna win my case. But what especially in the African American community, when I first became a lawyer, I was driving a Honda. And my clients would always tease me, Miss Reed, you're not making no money.
Just because of your car.
Because
the way it looked.
It's
perception.
Superficial, yes. Part of this thing is just a superficial perception. But in terms of it being European, I do believe that we were brought over here. We were brought over here on the bottom of the boat, and we were told who we are is insufficient. Our dialect is insufficient. Our lips are too thick. Our nose is too broad, and our hair is too kinky.
And people want it now.
And we began to assimilate because we had to. But now it's part of our culture. You know, I always tease and I always say, I'm not from here. Yes, I am. Because when I went to Africa, I didn't want to live like that.
Yeah.
Some of those cultures, there's a lot of progressive people in Africa. But some people walked around with no shoes and no shirts. That is not what I'm accustomed to because I've grown up here. Yeah, it's not my normal. So I do think it's partially European, but I think it's part of our culture now.
Yeah. And see, and just as you stated, see, for me, even though we may have been brought over and may have been, you know, taught to think that way, you know, for me, it's just, as I stated earlier, it's just how can I make my hair comfortable for me, you know what I'm saying, and where I'm at in this life. So I've done the twisting and the, you know, the braiding, and when I say it's a lot of work, baby, being natural and twisting at nighttime and trying to, it's a thin line between your hair looking really nice to it looking ratchet, and then you got to go to work tomorrow, and it's like, okay, what's going on? Now I will agree with you when as far as work. Because when you're at work, and I've worked with people who are, you know, in higher level leadership roles, and the one thing that you don't want is their attention to be at your hair when you're giving a presentation or you're talking about something. And you're like, hello, are you listening to anything that I'm saying? Because you're so busy looking at what I came in looking like today, whether it was a color in my hair or just something that was so different from what you're used to seeing.
Yes,
but that doesn't mean that I can't do my job. And that is a problem when it comes to getting customers for your business, or because perception is everything.
It's amazing. We've become so progressive, but we're still not. You know, I have several friends at work who have locks, but then I just recently read an article that it's okay for an employer to discriminate against a person because of their hair. And I really began to think he's a protected class, because as you know, we are a protected class based on religion, based on race, based on creed. And so I'm looking at him being African American. He is in fact a protected class, but when you look at the red herrings, as an African American you're a protected class, but in hairstyle in fact it's not. Really? So because when you really think about it, a white person can lock their hair. So that's why it's a red herring. If somebody said, which of course they would not because they're far smarter than this, I'm not going to hire you because you're black. We can sue all day because you're Asian. But I'm not going to hire you because you have a ponytail or because you have locks. Your hairstyle is not. The Constitution tells us what the protected classes are. It's inbuilt in our Constitution. But hair isn't inbuilt in our Constitution. Now one would say certain hairstyles are what? Connected to the class. Yes. So arguably, locks are part of the African American experience. And the reality is it's part of the African American experience. However, because the privilege of white America, they can use red herrings in order to discriminate in forms and fashions that do not allow us to successfully have a lawsuit.
That's interesting. I never thought about that. But while you're talking about that, my Caucasian people, I'm gonna need y'all not to ask to touch our hair.
Girl,
I just don't do it, because you know we're not puppies. and I have gotten it in the past. I know there's no
ill will,
right? No ill will, none. Exactly. But when I've had several, and I understand that there are some people that they're just so awed by your hair because it's like they've never come maybe up close to it, whether it be because they work with you or because you become a friend, and they're just like, oh my God, they're, you know, excited, I guess, to even see, like, and some have said, I wish my hair could do that. But when you start to touch and feel, and oh my God, and I've had people who have already put their hand in my hair before they even ask. Like, you don't want to do that. Just don't do it.
My girlfriend did it twice, and I finally told her. The first time I had weave, and she was like, well, I just have to ask you. Well, first of all, that's offensive right there, because what you are doing is presupposing that I can't grow hair. If you are going to
presupposing,
because she didn't, I have to, because my hair is long. Why do you have to ask? Why is it so on your mind trying to figure out we talking about law. We have homicide cases on the table. You don't have to ask about a defense strategy, but you have to ask, is my hair real? But
that should not have even been
more pointedly, when I finally wore my normal hair or my natural hair, it was like a bob. We're talking. And she just goes for it. And I love her. And I don't know if she'll ever see this, but if she does, I love you, girl. But she just reaches in and she's like, is this your real hair? And as she's feeling my scalp, I'm grabbing her wrist. Yeah. And I said, don't do that. Yeah. I'm not your experiment. Yeah. And that's the thing. And she's like, but I thought we were close enough. I don't want to offend you.
But we still offended.
It's not about close. It's about boundaries. Yeah. I don't touch your stomach and say, do you have on a girdle? I don't touch your boobs and say, is your bra lifted enough because your tits really come to your navel? Because that's not appropriate to ask. Certain boundaries as women and certain secrets as women we simply want to have. You don't ask people certain things. And that's one of the things. I feel like it's not about being black. Because I love my girl who I'm talking about. It's simply about boundaries. You don't touch people. Now, if you my person, I can touch you. If you my best friend, you my daughter, you my cousin. But you know when we not that close. Because you wouldn't start the statement with, I don't want to offend you, or can I?
Or can I?
And can is a question, like my sister said. Allow me to answer it first. Don't can I and grab me? That's assault. That's chargeable. That's a crime in Michigan.
Going to jail.
Probation. I want restitution. You know how expensive this hair is.
Look, they got finance plans right here.
Which I think is crazy for you.
If y'all out there financing plans for your hair, really?
People financing cell phones, I think that's equally dumb.
Yeah, I mean, at least you may be trying to get a job so somebody can contact you. But
you can get a regular
I'm just
cell
saying,
phone.
everybody ain't gonna be looking like Beyonce out here because you want that kind of hair, and that hair can be thousands of dollars. And I guess some people feel like, well, it's a good investment because I don't have to get my hair done for a while, but you still got to get it installed, and you still got to.
And you gotta wash it. You gotta take it out.
It's not an investment. I don't care what nobody say.
I hate this black women hair smell. Okay, I got this. I'm so serious. I had this one friend. I took down her hair. And that's all I'm going to say. Take your weave out and wash it. Bless the Lord.
Hallelujah. Amen. Let the church say amen.
He's worthy. Get me started. I dance up in here.
I can't. Oh, that's so funny. But
you know what I mean.
I do know. I do. Because
this is my friend.
Yeah.
I love her.
Yeah.
Don't ever ask me to take your hair out again.
Yeah, she's not, if she sees this ever again.
She'll never speak to me because I don't take that many hairs.
She probably not. No, not at all. But
it wasn't right, is all I'm saying.
No, I'm glad that we talked about this, though, because I just feel like a lot of women, they go through what we're talking about. And it's just real. And as I always say, this is the raw talk. That's here on my show.
I'm here for the men, not the women, because I think that the men do not. Women understand the plight of women. Men don't understand the plight of women, and you want us to look a certain way, you want us to walk a certain way, you want us to have a confidence about ourselves and a demeanor about ourselves in order for you to be attracted to us. So understand that we have to feel good about us in order to make you feel good about you. And most of y'all know when y'all see us, y'all want to feel good about you, or y'all at least want us to make y'all feel good. So allow us to be unabashful about who we are, whether it's unabashful about braids, unabashful about wigs, unabashful about weaves, unabashful about a bald head. Long as I feel good about me, I can make you feel good about you in more ways than one. So, thing got to do right and feel right, right?
That's true.
All right, girl.
That's true. So yeah, when you do have a man who makes you feel as
or a woman.
Or a woman these days, that's where it's at.
People
some
have
people,
what they have.
yeah, and that's okay. You know, I don't judge.
I don't believe she feel like that's okay. She was
I
said, or a woman. She said,
you know what?
She said,
I'm not listening to her.
She said that. I said it, y'all. I said it. Bless the Lord. Bless the
It
Lord.
could be either way. I don't judge either way because people do what they want to do with their life, you know. But what I'm saying is, as far as, you know, whoever makes you feel that you are sexy, you know, makes you feel okay with who you are, like you said, short, broad, long, all of that. You don't have to be what they say you should be, you know. And I think it's not just the man that makes you feel that way, though. It's women. Let's just be honest. Women come out and they like, yeah, I was stunting on them. Yeah, I was doing it. Yeah, they saw me when I walked up in there. You got women who care what other women think too. Some of them don't even care what the man think. They want to feel like, I was looking better than all of them over there.
I was doing it. I was moving the crowd.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's another reason where they're like, you know, hey, it becomes a competitive nature as well, you know. So anyway, I just kind of we wanted to talk about that with y'all. And yeah, so we still got a few minutes. I do want to talk to my guest a little bit about what she does as an attorney, guys, because y'all heard her talking about she has homicidal cases and things like that. She is a criminal defense attorney.
I am.
Yes. So we're going to ask a few questions and then we're going to wrap it up. But y'all need to know a little bit more about Attorney Tatanisha Reed because she may be somebody that you may need to contact down the line for sure. Whether it be relatives, friends, or just a reference out of nowhere because we never know who we need when we need them and don't know who to call.
Absolutely.
So tell us a little bit about you, Tata, as far as, you know, how you got into law, like, you know, where did all that come from? What area we know you practice, all that.
My cousins, my family teased me. I always wanted to be a lawyer. My very best friend, who is my very best friend now, we were 13 skipping school at the park swinging. And I told her I wanted to be a lawyer and I was going to defend criminals. And she
at 13?
Was at 13. Oh, wow. And she was like, really? And I was going to defend criminals. And my cousins teased me ever since I was a little girl. Mock trials in 8th grade. I've always known I wanted to be a lawyer. But I had my daughter young. And when I had my daughter young, I was like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this, because law school was very laborious. It was very time consuming. So I got my bachelor's in psychology. My daughter was still young, so I went to get a master's. I got my master's in social work because the master's program, it just wasn't as rigorous as law school. So I said, okay, when my daughter turns 13, I'm going to go to law school. My daughter turned 13, I wanted to go to law school. My best friend was like, no, you just finished your master's program, blah, blah, blah. My dad was like, no, you need to be home. I was like, I'm going to do it. So everybody was mad because my life had just kind of settled, you know. Like I said, I was a young mother, so I was working midnights. My daughter is going, daycare during the day. I'm getting out, picking her up, going to school. I'm on a few hours of sleep. And then, I got saved at a young age. But before then, I did my little partying thing. And then when I gave my life to Christ, I was really on the straight and narrow. And then went into some weird backslidden state, the one I'm currently still in. And no, I don't believe that I'm in a backslidden state because I'm drinking. I don't think the hypocrisy in Christianity is having sin in your life. I think the hypocrisy in Christianity is acting as if you don't have sin when you have sin in your life. The Bible says all of sin and come short of God's glory. So that's something else, but I am a believer. So I wanted to go to law school. So I went to law school when my daughter was 13, and it was very difficult because at that time I was working at a place called Star Commonwealth. I was supervising. My daughter was at Benedictine, and she was cheerleading, and I'm full-time, and I have staff, and I'm in law school. But for the grace of God. So I did law school. When I left Star Commonwealth, I was director of development, and I just hung my shingles out. And I promise you, nobody wanted me to go into private practice because I was making good money. And in private practice is it's overflowing. It's saturated. It's saturated. We have too many lawyers. Don't do it. My father was like, don't do it. You're not going to have any health insurance. And I prayed about it. And the lawyer told me, you can't walk on the water if you don't get out the boat. So I quit my job, and I don't have a husband. So it was me and Jesus.
All right.
And I promise you, I make more now than I did then. I won't say no more because IRS mentioned. But
you got boats and toys and stuff. So yeah,
that's His grace. That's the blood.
It is.
He said, "I'm gonna bless you for doing it." You did it. Yeah. So and now I did it. I, like you said, had the faith. Without faith, it's impossible to please God. He that comes to God must know that He's God, and He's a rewarder of them that diligently seek Him. So if anybody is watching who wants to do something that someone is saying you can't do, the devil is a lie. I had my daughter at 16. I was in the 11th grade. I didn't not young. I was 21. Young, I was 16. But God, and parents, God and parents who instill in you a work ethic, who let you know who you are in yourself and who you are in Christ. So my daughter is 30 and I'm 46. So I say that to say we all do things in life that the world says we shouldn't do, and that we simply shouldn't do. You shouldn't have a child at 16. Now, if you do, don't keep having babies, because some people have 4 too many. But the moral of the story is, if you have something that God has put on the inside of you, He'll make sure that dream and that vision comes to pass. And you can't give up on that dream and that vision simply because a situation has happened that was not planned and or foreseen. So that's how I became a lawyer. I've only been practicing 12 years, where most people my age have been practicing 20 years. But like I said, I got my master's first. I think I practiced in social work, human service, probation, probably for about 15 years before I went back to law school.
What made you choose criminal law? What was it about it?
Poverty. Okay. I'm the defender of the brethren. African Americans, our society is like we get shot with poison and get blamed for dying.
Like that.
We have a system that practices systematic racism, it's systematic oppression. We have self-hate. We're not even going to talk about colorism. We'll talk about that on another show. Just the light skin versus the brown skin, growing up, and being told
that's huge.
What is and what isn't. So watching, back in the YBI days and the drug days, but their mothers and their fathers. I had dudes who mamas would tell you, you got to pay my car note. You got to buy me this. You have to buy me. He 19. How he paying car notes? They would encourage this foolishness. They would encourage crime. My father told all of us, I don't visit people in jail.
That's right.
You go, you on your own. And everybody didn't have parents like that. and I watch regular people. I'm talking about some people, it's just poverty, not even substance abuse. Just, we got so much mental illness in our community and in all walks of life, but poverty. A lot of people commit crimes, become drug dealers. They solicit, they sell their bodies. People ain't out here hoeing and tricking just because they want to have sex with strangers. They don't have any money. So when you look at it on a larger scale, I wanted to help those who made decisions because of ignorance, meaning not knowing. And some people just dumb and stupid and make dumb choices no matter what. But I became a lawyer and a defense attorney because I wanted to help people, particularly people who look like me, to get out of situations that they've somehow found themselves in. But for the grace of God, there go I. I have one super quick story. It was a young girl, and her name was Deshawn, and this is when I was a social worker at Star Commonwealth. And I was sitting at her table, and she was pregnant, and her mother said, I ain't mad at this bitch for getting pregnant. I'm mad because she didn't sell the pussy. This is a true story. And she said it out loud.
What?
And I'm sitting here, and a young girl and her mother are bickering and going back and forth, and you don't know what I did. And I'm like, whoa. Now I'm just here as the worker. And so I'm trying to tell the mother, this is your daughter. But this is a grown woman. I can't change her value system. And she looks at your body as currency. And she's looking at her daughter like you are left in this state and you didn't get anything, you didn't gain anything from it. So her rationale makes sense in her limited thinking. But I remember when I got pregnant and my father said, don't miss a beat. That meant, because my birthday is in October, you graduate at 17 and you start college at 18. Because I would always say, I'm gonna have my first degree by the time I'm 21, and I did. Because I delivered January 2nd, I was back in school January 11th. I say that to say, but for the grace of God, there go I. If I didn't have parents who told me, this is nothing but a setback.
Yep.
You shouldn't have done it. We shouldn't be here. But now that you're here,
make the best of it.
you need to take some ACTs, and you need to score higher than you was going to score, because now you have 2 mouths to feed. And guess what? We're not taking care of your baby. I wasn't one of those mamas whose mama took care of their baby. No, she coming with you. She was on Belle Isle some days, so I'm just going to be honest. She probably shouldn't have been, but my baby was on Belle Isle.
Right.
But for the grace of God, there go I.
Yeah.
You got so many situations where people are in poverty.
Yeah. Well, we're going to wrap it up, guys. I know you guys got to tune into her show. She's got a lot more to dish than this. Her show will be on CW50. Well, it's been on CW50, but she'll have a new season coming.
July 1st.
July 1st. So, yes, check her out this summer. Again, on CW50. It's called
Legal Kaleidoscope. And let me give you my number in case you need a good lawyer. For your greatest chance to succeed in your time of need, call Tatanisha Reed, 248-228-8377, 248-228-8377.
All right. Well, thank you guys again so much. Don't forget to, like our podcast, subscribe to our show, so you can receive the updated notifications as we continue to send them out. Again, we'll see you guys next week. Thank you again, Attorney Tatanisha Reed, girl. Hey, I love her, girl. She's just
I've been on it 20 years.
Yes, my friend. All right, guys. We love you guys, and as a message note, as I always say, always be a blessing to others, that you never realize the value that it brings to your own life. Have a great one.